the solvent tray. At the top of the instrument you can see the mobile phase bottles to be used for the analysis. Each solvent line is clearly labelled with the line number and colour coded. Often the mobile phase lines can get muddled and hard to see which is which. The clear labelling goes all the way up the mobile phase bottle and loops neatly with a designated labelled and coloured flag for each bottle, making it exceptionally clear to see which line is which. You can have confidence that the right solvent line is in the right bottle. That helps mitigate the risk of sample suitability test failure that could trigger unplanned investigation activity at pharma QC labs. These labels continue down the side of the instrument and are held neatly in place, so tracking the solvent is clear and visible. In front of the solvent bottles is a system status light. This is transparent, allowing for easy visibility to the mobile phase bottles. Low mobile phase can be clearly seen. The system status bar visibly shows the user the status of the system, even across a busy lab. Is it being used? Green. Is it free to use? Blue. Or is there an error? Red. The pump is a QSM, quaternary solvent manager, allowing 4 separate mobile phases to be mixed on the system. Using a quaternary pump may help improve the pH stability of volatile buffers by mixing online concentrated solutions that are less prone to evaporation and consequent pH variability during the execution of the sample set. As you can see, the solvent lines entering the pump are well labelled. Should any issue arise with the pump, the aim is to get it up and running as quickly as possible. To do this, accessibility is important. As you can see, a light comes on when the door is opened, clearly illuminating all parts. All serviceable parts are easy to access. The solvent flow is through the degasser and into the gradient proportioning valve, through the check valve and into the pump heads. To prime, the vent valve sends the solvent to waste. When the system is pumping, the vent valve switches the flow through the mixer. The inlet check valve has a new ball and seat design, reducing probability of stuck closed failures. Should it need to be replaced, the check valve comes as a complete unit. No separate gaskets to worry about, making maintenance much simpler and leak-free. The seal wash is important to ensure that the pump seals remain lubricated and free of debris, which in turn means increased system uptime. The seal wash pump is self-priming, meaning no additional user interaction is required to ensure that the seal wash is working. The auto sampler is a flow-through needle design where the needle is part of the flow path and continuously flushed, greatly reducing carryover. The sample compartment is temperature controlled from 4 to 40 degrees C with improved thermal stability. There is capacity for 3 solvent trays, which can be plates or vial holders. Potential risks that can occur with an auto sampler are bent needles from piercing vial septa or plate mats. This has been addressed with the use of a puncture needle, which pierces the vials and protects the needle from wear and tear. This design offers the added benefit of reducing carryover even further thanks to a dedicated wash station, where the piercing needle is washed in counter current using a 1 ml solvent amount per injection. The metering pump replaces the traditional sample syringe drive and delivers very high performance for injection precision and linearity. It's designed for 7 years full product life, meaning that no annual preventative maintenance is required for the sample metering pump. This is a column heater cooler. The column compartment holds all column sizes for columns all the way up to 300mm lengths, including a guard column. It also has the widest temperature range Waters have ever offered at 4 to 90 degrees C, to give you the full range for most, if not all, methods. There are also a few things you can't see very easily, so let me point them out. The column connections are pre-assembled, tool-free, zero dead volume fittings. These are both very reliable and less prone to errors from over or under tightening, reducing common errors such as broader peaks, carryover or system variability seen when the column is incorrectly fitted and voids are present. Even the tubing from the column inlet and the detector is pre-assembled in the Alliance iS. This prevents any risks of inconsistency between labs running the same method that we sometimes observe when supporting customers with troubleshooting issues. The column oven has an eConnect reader in the oven door using RFID technology, reducing the risk of column or method mismatch. This works with a device found in our eConnect columns, allowing the user to know if they've installed the proper column for the method to be run. It eliminates the need for manual logbooks. Instead, column use tracking and history are stored within Empower, enabling more seamless compliance and reduces transcription errors. Let me show you how to connect a column. It's very simple. We just put the inlet into the inlet of the column, and then for the outlet into the detector into the other end of the column. Nice and simple finger tight fittings. The tunable UV detector is behind the system touchscreen. It is a UV visible detector with a range of 190 to 700 nanometers, capable of dual wavelength detection. Thermal sensitivity of this detector has been greatly enhanced, with heaters and insulation part of an active thermal control system. This will help support you with method migration and transfer to geographies with very different room temperatures, helping to make sure that any method run anywhere in the world will give you similar results through the improved thermal management. The thermal stability of the detector means that short-term changes in ambient temperature will have very little impact on the stability of the detector. Improvements will be seen in the detector baseline and reduction in equilibration time, as well as improved TUV performance and higher signal to noise, making those smaller peaks easier to integrate. The Alliance iS HPLC is a modern HPLC for pharma QC labs. Using the Alliance iS makes running routine HPLC easier than ever. Common problems highlighted by LC users have been addressed with this system, to name just a few. Convenient management of solvent lines, status lights that can be viewed across a lab to clearly see which instruments are in use, all systems fitted with the same length and dimension tubing throughout, tool-free finger-tight fittings to ensure that the column is correctly fitted every time, a friendly, intuitive touchscreen interface with guided workflows, including pre-run checks, all working together with the compliant-ready Empower chromatography data system. It is a tool to reduce risks, out-of-specification results, and failed method transfer. Why don't you see for yourself how the Alliance iS could fit into your laboratory? Arrange a demo with your local Waters account manager.